Hey guys, it's Jason here from the Omni Sales team, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at the I'm just looking objection that we get when clients walk in. In today's video, we want to break this down to understand why clients say they're just looking and understand ways that we can actually engage with them. There are so many sales consultants I see that when a client walks in or when a customer walks in, they get that I'm just looking and they sort of freeze and don't know what to do, or they just go, okay, buddy, and they just let them go through. But guys, you're in sales. Obviously, people don't want to talk to salespeople. So when we get the I'm just looking objection, it's just because they're scared. So what we're going to do over the next couple of minutes is we're going to break this objection down. We're going to get into the psychology of the client, and then we're going to find out ways that we can start to reframe the conversation. What are the little tactics and little tricks that we can do to get the client to actually have to talk to us firstly, so that we can break the ice, we can break the facade and break the barrier down and start having a conversation with them. So step one is understanding why the client is saying, I'm just looking. The reason the client's saying, I'm just looking is because they are scared. They're scared they're going to be sold to. Obviously, we're salespeople, so when people see us, they naturally want to run. Do you want me to tell you what a client thinks when they look at us when they come into our display? Do you know when you're at the shopping center and you're just minding your own business and you've got those little guys in the middle of the aisles of the hallways or the corridors in the shopping center that are trying to sell you paintball tickets or life insurance or trying to sign you up for some raffle? That's literally how clients look at you because you're in sales. They literally think of all of those negative experiences where they didn't want to buy, they felt pressured in, they didn't want to have a conversation, they're sort of stuck talking to someone they don't want to talk to, and they think that's what you are. Like, clients are just scared at the end of the day. If we want to take clients out of that scared mentality, we need to look at ways and tricks that we can do that. So the first thing we want to understand is they're scared. They're scared that they're going to be sold to. They're scared they're going to make a mistake. They're scared that they're going to lose all their money. The second thing that you need to understand is they hate salespeople. This is on the back of they're scared. Obviously, these clients don't like dealing with salespeople because they have the negative feeling with all salespeople they deal with. They always feel pressured. So, what are some of the things that we can do to start to mitigate this? Number one is just being there for them. Like, at the end of the day, if they hate us and they're scared of us, the first thing we need to do is make them feel comfortable. So step one is make them comfortable. Now, how are we going to make them comfortable? We're going to make them comfortable by being relaxing, by being in a nice neutral stance, by not being too aggressive, not being too passive, but just being there like a friend. The way I always tell people to sell is imagine your mother or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or someone like that, someone you really care about is coming in. That's the kind of energy you want to have. Now, I don't want you to be super excited and run up and hug them, obviously, but I want you to have that energy inside of you that's just like, I'm really going to look after this person. In order for you to be able to make a client feel comfortable, for them to start to drop that facade, they have to feel comfortable with you. And the way they can feel comfortable with you is you just have to be caring, and you've got to be in a position where you want to serve. So that's the first thing. You got to make them feel comfortable. The second thing is you always need to be out of your chair. The sickest thing that I find in new home sales right now is the amount of consultants just sit there in their chair when a client walks in. Guys, you're selling a product worth $500,000. People are literally investing their life savings with you, and you don't even have the courtesy to be able to get out of your chair to be able to go and help them. Like, every single time a client ever walks in, you guys need to be out of your chair and making them feel comfortable. And what I mean by making them feel comfortable is you need to take a leadership and a guiding role. And we're going to explain that in step 3 in a moment. But you always must get out of your chair. Never stay sitting in your chair. Otherwise, those clients are going to just feel like they can walk past you. And they're obviously going to use the line, I'm just looking, because they don't want to have to engage in conversation. So number 3, when you get them out of the chair, is you are going to have a leadership voice or action. So what do I mean by you're going to have a leadership voice or action? It means that you're there to guide the client. So when that client walks in, you need to be able to command the room. You need to show the client that you have full control of the room. And it's not doing it in an aggressive way. It's just understanding that when a client walks in, they're walking into your space. That's why sometimes they feel uncomfortable and they're scared because they're going into someone else's space. So when that client walks in and you see them and obviously you can tell they look nervous or they don't want to talk to you, you got to take control of the situation. You got to show a leadership voice, but you got to do it in a comforting way. So like obviously if your friend is coming into your home, you're obviously going to welcome them into your home, but you're going to be the one that's in control. They're not going to start walking around and trying to change things on you. So you need to have a leadership voice, or you need to have a leadership tone or a character that exudes confidence. Confidence at the end of the day, guys, is what sells. Like in any conversation people have, the person who's more confident will usually win the conversation. And what I mean by that is the other person will start to take the opinion of the more confident person on board. So we must have a leadership voice. Step 4, and the most important one, is you must stand in front of where they will walk. So what do I mean by this one? You must stand in the way they're going to walk. So when a client walks into your display, they're obviously going to walk through the front door of your display, or they're going to walk into your office. Like a lot of display homes are set up the same way. You walk into the office and there's either another door or there's a hallway to lead into the display home. Whenever a client comes in, you're going to get out of your chair, and let's assume that this side of me is where the client is walking in and this side of me is where they have to walk to in order to get to the display home, and you're sitting in the middle. You're going to stand up from where you're sitting, you're going to walk around your table, and you're going to stand in between the door and the next door, so the client must walk through you in order to get into the display. Why? Because number one, we're showing the clients that we're the leader, we're the person that's going to guide the conversation in that room. They're coming to our space, and we need to engage with them in order for them to come on through. So have your leadership voice and stand in the way. Now, maybe 1 out of 100 people are going to barge you over trying to walk past, or they're going to try and get past because they don't want to talk that bad. Look, that's one client. Let them go. If they're really that nasty about it and they're just going to push you over. But 99 other clients are going to sit there, and even if they don't want to have the conversation, they know they have to have the conversation. So once you get to that step, you then lead in with the meet and greet script. And there's a whole nother video that I've linked down below that'll have the full meet and greet walkthrough. So there's a certain way that when a client walks in, we're standing in the way. There's a certain way that we need to engage with that client. But these steps are just for you to understand that when a client says, I'm just looking, this is the reason and this is the way to stop it from happening. Now, let's pretend that you screwed it all up. So you screwed it all up and the client has walked in, you're still sitting on your chair, and the client looks at you and says, hey, I'm just here for a look. I'm just going to walk by and I don't want to talk to you. How do we start to transfer that conversation? So the first thing that we need to do is, like any objection we ever get, step 1 is to acknowledge the objection. Objection, sorry. Not abjection. You need to acknowledge the objection. So when someone throws any objection at you, say if I can't afford it, or the price is too high, or I want to think about it, or I want to talk to my wife, the first thing we do with any objection is simply just acknowledge the objection. We know the client has an objection, we know they feel a certain way, so we need to make sure that they're felt heard and they're felt listened to. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge the objection. Hey guys, totally get it. Everybody when they come in here is obviously just looking. So that's the way you start it off. Second is you clarify the objection. Clarify. So when a client says, I'm just looking, or I just want to have a look, I don't want to be spoken to, you need to clarify that. Hey guys, I understand that you want to have a look. Now clarify it. Is it because you don't want to talk to me, or you're just unsure about what kind of home you want? Give them some sort of something to give you back. Like, you need to ask a question so they can give something back to you. You need to start to understand why they just want to look. Like, if they're coming in to build a home, like, why are they building a home? Like, are they scared that you're just going to sell? Are they scared they're going to make the wrong decision? Are they scared that you don't have the product for them, that they don't want to waste their time? There's numerous reasons they're going to give you. So clarify what the objection is. So they might just go, oh, we're on a tight schedule and we want to wait. We don't want to talk to anyone. We want to just go through. Hey guys, totally understand. Step 3 with any objection is you're going to then reframe. Reframe the objection. Now, when we say reframe the objection, what do we mean? So let's assume that the objection they just gave us is we just want to have a walk through. We got to clarify that objection. It's that we haven't got time. We haven't got the time is the main objection they then throw at you. Then we reframe that objection. So when they say, hey, we haven't got enough time to sit and speak to everyone. Hey guys, totally understand. I'm happy that you gave me the real objection. I'm happy that you told me that. Look, at the end of the day, the way you're going to get out of here quicker is speaking to me and taking me through what you need. Notice that? We reframe the objection from I haven't got time to speak to anyone because I don't want to be sold to, hey guys, in order for you to get out of here quicker, because their objection is they have the time, you'll best speak to me because I'm going to show you if we have the right product or the right design. If not, completely fine, guys, head on out. Does that sound fair? What are they going to say? No? Of course it sounds fair. And then you've handled the objection. Step 4. So normally when you hold an objection, you then resell or repitch or ask for the business commitment, whatever. What we say here in this step here is then have convo. So what we've done is we've taken the client from saying, I'm just looking. We've taken it through because we know they're scared and they hate salespeople. We've taken you through what to do as a result of you knowing they're going to say that. But if you screwed everything up, at the end of the day, then just follow it like a normal objection. Acknowledge the objection, clarify it, reframe it, and then resell, rebuy, or recommit to the sale. They're the steps that you're going to get into to be able to handle the I'm just looking objection. So when we've gone through and we've acknowledged, clarified, reframe, and we've resold, re-asked for the commitment of that particular stuff, then we must engage with the client. You've now got that 1 second to really start to engage and to find out the real reason this client's here. So follow the meet and greet script. Make sure you go through that line by line. Make sure you don't miss anything. Take the clients through, guide them through. But you're going to find a lot of the time that when they walk into a display, they're going to feel scared. They don't want to talk to you. It's just because everyone else out there is crap. You guys are going to be obviously the professionals. And that's how you're going to turn the I'm just looking objection into buying clients or into engaging clients. Like at the end of the day, we can't sell to every client. We need to get to the 7 steps of selling to see if we can actually sell to them. But what we want to do is we want to set that client up as a lead. If that client just walks in and out, you're never going to see him again. And obviously that's not a lead for you to follow up on. Like the company spent so much money driving those leads to your display, the least you can do is actually engage with them. So that's going to be the difference between an order taker and a master closer that we talk about. Is the order taker and then the seller, all they're doing is they're just giving information and they don't really know what they're doing. The closer and the master closer are making sure that people that say, I'm just looking, are still going to sit down and have a conversation with me. Why? Because it's my display. You guys have come into my home. It's important that we go through these steps in this way. Why? Because you need to make sure that you lead and guide the client at the end of the day. The reason the client's saying that, it's like a dog that's trying to challenge you. You see when there's 2 dogs, they try to challenge each other. We're just trying to find out which one's the alpha or which one's going to be listened to. So many clients are going to throw that at you and you're going to freeze. So if you freeze or you don't know what to do, study this video, go through the steps before, go through our clarifying the objection if you screw everything up, go through how to handle an objection if you've screwed everything up, and make sure that when next time that a client says, I'm just looking, you actually turn it into a buying client. Now, the last thing I want to share on this particular point is that how many of you get that objection all the time and still don't know how to deal with it? Or how many of you guys get some sort of like pushback or clients say the same thing to you every time and you don't know what to do as a result? Guys, that's literally the definition of insanity. That's Albert Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So my biggest thing is if you ever get an objection, if you ever get something you don't know how to handle, learn how to handle it or ask for help. Now, it's great. You're on this YouTube video watching this. So as always, guys, it's Jason here from the Omni Sales team. I appreciate you watching. If you could drop a like, subscribe, yeah. But if you have something that's wrong, put that down in the comments and I'll make a whole video about it. The only way that we're going to get better is we need to train and learn and continue to grow. So if you're getting this objection all the time and you still don't know how to handle it, or you don't know the processes or why a client's saying it, understand that this video just took you through it. Practice, rehearse, go and use it. So there's a famous saying I learned. You need to learn something, you need to use something, and then you need to go and teach it to someone else. So if you learned something in this video, awesome, go and use it. See how it works for you. See if it actually works for you. If it does work, then teach it to a friend or a colleague and watch them grow as well. And collectively, we all come better. So as always, guys, my name is Jason. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.